Welcome to Black Girl Say Something, where this black girl has something to say. And it is the first Friday of September. And I'm really hoping for me that September is better than August. August was okay, but I need September to be that girl, right? And my birthday is October. So I really need September to do what I need it to do. Because I don't know if it's just me, but I'll make sure that in some kind of way, I need to know if the audience is feeling it. Something is going on, and it is a lot, and it's been a bit much, and it's been taking an emotional toll on me. But it's like there's nothing wrong and something is wrong, and I just don't know how to explain it, right? But I think I want to use this episode and take this time to discuss how I'm navigating parenthood as my daughter is now in high school, and just the topic of making friends. As one who didn't really make friends, or friends wasn't a top priority for me, whereas I have a daughter who's very much a social butterfly. She sees the good in everyone, and not that she has a yearning to want people to be her friend, but when she makes friends, the friends typically aren't friending. Like, the girls are not girls, and I have a girl that's a girl's girl. And it is one of those things where I'm explaining to her, I am now recognizing through her that there is no rule book to friendship. There's no rule book to making friends. And so I am leaning into resources and people and asking them those questions. What are your rules for making friends? Because if we naturally allow it to happen, and there are a lot of old school people that like to say, there's a trend going on various social media platforms, like, what's your old head rule? And I know an old head rule would be like, you don't need friends. But actually, you do need friends. Friends are key in character development. If you don't have good friends, you won't know what bad friends. If you don't have bad friends, you won't know what good friends are. And if you don't have good friends, you can't identify what bad friends are. And so friendship, that idea of friendship is key in character development. And so my daughter is going through what we call the growing pain stage. And it is, as a mom, it is hard to watch because she is my firstborn, and she is going through things that I've never went through. So I'm experiencing them with her, and it's quite emotional on the friend front. And of course, in any topic that I discuss where I get the opportunity to discuss, there's only so much that I can say, but she has allowed me the opportunity to just really put it out there to the platform and say, hey, what are your rules for making friends? And I think I can, if you're listening on Spotify, I believe that I can create a poll where you can answer. So that will be the poll question. What are some of your rules for making friends? And I really just want to share that with her and help her navigate through life as somebody who didn't have a strategy to making friends. And then you make a friend, and of course, like friendships do, they just fizzle out for one reason or another. No beef, no harm, no foul. But as somebody who was being more proactive in creating and making friendships and having community as an adult, it is the same as a kid, and it's difficult to watch your child, right, go through their struggles, but you have to allow them to, so that they can grow, and so that they can develop their character, and so that they can develop emotionally and mentally, right? And it's one of, you just got to watch it. You just got to trust the process. And as somebody with trust issues, it's like, how do you trust the process when you have trust issues? And, that's a topic to discuss in therapy. But alongside with that, there's various things that have been just happening in the cosmos, I guess you can say, where it's like, I had my cycle recently, and at this point, y'all in my business, so this black girl has something to say. But I had my cycle recently, and it practically took me out. And I haven't had dizzy spells and headaches and the feeling of passing out since I was like in my teenage years. And I'm just like, what is going on? And it's like, as I get older, I am not seeing relief from this thing called the menstrual cycle. And so I've talked about it previously on episodes about my thyroid. My thyroid is doing really good, by the way. When you manage your nutrition and your stress, and I'm back walking a mile a day. If you've been listening for some time, typically middle of August up until my birthday, or middle of August until December or January, I'll walk a mile a day in order to combat seasonal depression. And so this will be my third year doing it. And, getting my steps in, walking has so many benefits. Walking has allowed me the opportunity to just really, it's become therapeutic. So I do it typically this time of the year because, as you know, by November, time is going to change. And there's less daylight and all of those things, and less exposure to vitamin D. So I get out and I walk. And when you end up doing it, doing the mile a day challenge, and I'm to the point now where I'm doing like a mile and a quarter. Or if I skip a day, I'll bulk up and do like 2 miles that day. But just being able to get out and walk and take better, as part of self-care is exercise. Part of self-care is creating boundaries. Self-care is sticking to your boundaries. Self-care is putting you first. It's doing all of these things that are necessary to take care of yourself. Self-care is not just spa days and dinner dates, solo dates. Self-care is taking your vitamin, managing your nutrition, delegating chores. Self-care is all of those things to me. So in doing that, I've followed up with my thyroid specialist, and it has practically shrinked. So, I attribute it to my divorce not being final yet, which it's still not. But in light of that, in spite of that, I managed to take better care of myself. And, the body will tell you those stressors will come up in your body. So being able to recognize that. But in the topic of friends, it's very much a safe space where you want to be able to identify what feels good. And I don't know if this is for anybody else, but this is the conversation that I had with my daughter. You want to be able to identify what feels good. And I know we've been in a situation where we were in company with people who we weren't able to identify that the things that they were doing to us didn't feel good. And so I was like, if you can recognize that you don't want somebody to do those extreme things, but it's the small things that make you feel that pit in your stomach. Like, I didn't like how you said that, or I didn't like that you did that. Right. And don't be ashamed to feel like you are nitpicking, because again, those that are for you will understand that, hey, you're more of a sensitive being than they are. And they won't do those things, right? They won't make you feel bad for not wanting to accept the things that they are doing that don't make you feel good. And so friendship should be fun. And there will be rifts, because that is it's a relationship. And I think if we can set the same boundaries and the same rules as we have on relationships to friendships, because it is a ship that sails and it's a part of our life, we can find some common ground to say, you know what, I wouldn't accept this from a stranger. Why would I accept this from somebody who's close to me? And once I've taken on that adage, it's like, oh, that's just your brother, or that's just your mom, or that's just your sister. It really don't matter, because I wouldn't allow a stranger to do it. And it's even worse that somebody who knows that that's not something that I like and they would do it anyways. That's a problem. Anywho, I just wanted to pop in, give my first Friday thoughts. Happy September. September, be good to us. Come in here, girl, and give us everything that we've asked for. And I saw a meme that said, all of the money I spent in August is coming back to me 3 times over in September. And I needed to come back 10 times over, because y'all know, single mom here, back to school, 2 children, high schooler. If I remember high school, and I was working when I started high school. So I had to come up out the pocket for the hairstyle and the outfits and the shoes, and be that it girl for high school. So not the same struggle my daughter has, but her mama got to put in that work, and I'm putting in the work, and I'm only doing my best, and my best is my genuine best. With that being said, to all of those that tune in, I thank you for listening. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube. We post an episode there every last Friday of the month. And I posted a episode where I talked about all the things that happened this summer. Give or take a few other things that I didn't talk about. We'll put that over on the subscriber side. But there'll be a link in the description of this episode where you can tune in and become a subscriber. So thank you for listening.